So we're here in Long Beach for Future Travel Experience, and I'm joined here by Martha Todd-Edge, who is Innovation and Experience Director at Charlotte Douglas International Airport. So Martha, thank you so much for joining me today.
Well, thank you for asking me to be part of this. I appreciate it.
So firstly, what trends have you been observing among your passengers that has prompted new innovations or passenger experience initiatives?
Excellent question. So the trends that we've been observing in the southeast of the United States, I can only speak on behalf of Charlotte, of course, but are really surrounding customers wanting to experience different things in the airport. The airport being such a stressful place where there's lots of hurry up and wait, there's a lot of hustle and bustle, but what are we doing to provide the customer an actual experience during their journey? Something that can then match the onboard experience as well, where they get to relax, watch movies, listen to music, etc. So the trends that we've been observing is really how we can figure out how to design the airport based on that unique experience. Helping to add experiential elements that are both educational and calming and relaxing at the same time, but also that provide a little bit of a surprise and delight element.
Yes, and I think we'll come on to that a little bit later, actually, the experiential and the learning side of things. But what recent innovation are you most proud of that has had the biggest effect on passenger experience?
Let's see, the most proud of, that can be difficult because there's a lot of things that I partner with different folks on the CLT team with. I think the thing that I am the most proud of, though, right now is the enhancements that have been happening as part of a business and revenue, innovation and experience, and our ground transportation work group. And this involves our online mobile application and our parking. So right now, customers can come to the airport, they can pre-book their parking spots, which had typically been a pain point for us because with many busy airports, the parking spots fill up very quickly. So being able to provide that level of reducing anxiety by sharing with the customer how they can book their parking product. They can select from different parking products. Now they can become a rewards member as well and start to earn valuable discounts for their next purchase. But it's really the work that's occurred as a nice collaboration between several different business units that are providing this digital experience and this kind of touchless experience for the customer.
Fantastic. Now, can you tell us a little bit about Destination CLT?
Yes, the big Destination CLT project. So Destination CLT encompasses, oh my goodness, 14 capital projects that are part of CLT's master planning efforts. As you know, a lot of the US airports were built 45 plus years ago,
Yeah.
and we're definitely in that sweet spot as well, where the terminal needs to be expanded, and not just the terminal, the entire ecosystem of CLT to accommodate the needs that we're experiencing, especially since the post-pandemic needs have skyrocketed as well. So Destination CLT is very heavy on the front of the house for what the customers will see when they're arriving. We started off with a consolidated rental car facility and hourly parking deck, which is wonderful. The customers are now able to walk from the terminal over to the rental car agencies. Then we had an elevated roadway project, which expanded the front roadway of the terminal. We went from 2.5-ish lanes, we could say 3 on each level, upper and lower, to now 8 lanes on both. Also taking in mind that there is a need to divide the commercial traffic from the passenger vehicle traffic. So flip-flopping the way that we did business, where we put the commercial traffic where customers are typically crossing the roadway, and then put the personal vehicle traffic on the other side, so there's no intermingling between the two. And of course, who knows better where people are going to jump out than the commercial vehicle drivers and our bus drivers, etc. So just some practical solutions. We have our 4th parallel runway that's being built. We've had many terminal renovations and refresh efforts, again, to help with the passenger journey and help people feel much more calmer and entertained while they're in the airport. New concessions, just really refreshing the facility, and of course adding on at the same time. We've had several concourse expansions added to that as well. But Destination CLT is named after our Queen Charlotte of Mecklenburg statue, who is the feature focal point of our airport. She used to stand out in between our old hourly parking deck and the terminal roadway curb front.
Okay.
Now she's actually in the building in this beautiful area called the Queen's Court. And our major Destination CLT project is our terminal lobby expansion. And it was building an airport around her. So building this airport fit for a queen.
Oh,
and
fantastic.
she now stands proudly in it as we complete the finishing phases of this project.
Well, it sounds pretty extensive. So how much will this expand your passenger capacity by?
Oh, well, it's interesting you asked that. I feel that we have already used up every square foot of the expansion, but that's the nature of the business. We are the second largest hub to American Airlines, largest airline in the world. And they have flight banks that come into Charlotte in and out around the same time. So the way that they structure these flight banks really is what's driving the expansion for us there.
Now, I understand electrochromic glass is a smart technology that has been used on the new concourse extensions. Can you tell us a little bit about this technology and the effect it has on traveller comfort as well as facility maintenance?
Of course. So my biggest point of interest in that is the customer experience. So in fact, as we're standing here and the sun is beating down on us, I realize that they don't have that here in Long Beach, maybe an older facility. However, the customer experience when you are building an airport, you have an airport that's built with lots of windows, which is fantastic because the customers are getting to see what's going on in your facility and outside and really breeding that excitement for aviation. But yet they can't sit down on their phone or their laptop or their device and see what they'd like to read. And let's face it, we're all stuck to our devices these days. So how can we make it a better experience when you're in the terminal? So from a customer perspective, I absolutely love the concept. I love that the glass is dynamic. Each glass pane has its own IP address, so it can be controlled individually. However, it's also a smart glass. So it does indeed control itself. As the sun is coming up over here, for example, it can automatically tint itself. So there's not a lot of involvement from the facilities and our maintenance folks on that side. From an HVAC perspective, it's really helping with the temperature regulating, the heating and cooling of the building during certain times of the year. So major benefits on both sides, but I definitely lean more toward the customer experience there and how it's helped tremendously with that.
Absolutely, because if passengers feel all hot and bothered, they'll just want to get out of that kind of environment as soon as possible, wouldn't they? So I bet you will see a good uptick in passenger spend, most likely.
Yes.
In your F&B and retail areas, and then also experience as well.
Absolutely, and the passenger satisfaction, you can tell the difference when we're looking at our survey results from concourse to concourse.
Absolutely. Now, you have been adding experiential elements to the airport, such as aircraft parts, so that children and all travellers can physically touch the fuselage skin and imagine how the design of the airplane contributes to the lift. What else is in the pipeline, and why are elements like this important?
This is one of the coolest projects that I've ever been part of. Excited to partner with our design team, who was really leading this effort, and just be along for the ride to help validate what it is that they're hoping to create for the airport and give them that customer element. So we have a fuselage, a tail, a vertical stabilizer of a McDonnell Douglas 82 that came off of a retired American Airlines plane. So it's not just sitting somewhere rotting. It's actually on display. It's been renovated and it's there, like you said, for the customer to touch the skin, touch the metal. This is what a plane feels like, and truly understand flight. And we have all sorts of exhibits around the tail of the aircraft to explain how the tail contributes to lift and how it contributes to flight. Also at that particular exhibit, in the terrazzo flooring, we have the design of the MD-82 aircraft, so you can stand in where a seat would be and you can see the true distance of how long that aircraft is. We've also used engine nacelles from 777s, and we've got a 747 coming in as desk furniture. So
Fantastic.
We have an information team that sits at a desk that historically it's been an area where customers have come to complain and they're confused, but now customers walk up, they'd like information, and then they're touching this desk and they're asking questions and becoming more inquisitive as to, well, wow, this is what an airplane, engine is like, and I could stand up in here. So again, adding those elements to just help people understand our industry and give them a little sneak peek into something that they may not have privy to, to be there interacting with normally.
It must be very rewarding to walk past and see children actually like really engaged with this piece of art and like really learning about the industry and wanting to get into it.
Absolutely. And the selfies. When I walk by and I see someone taking a selfie or someone asking questions, it's amazing.
Yeah, fantastic. Now, Paradis Lagardère has deployed hologram technology and Amazon Just Walk Out at one of its stores in the airport at the end of 2023. What other cutting edge technologies would a passenger see in your airport?
That's a great question. So the Just Walk Out concept with Paradis is absolutely phenomenal. I've caught myself on occasion going over and actually helping customers understand that, yes, you can walk in, you follow the process for the entry, and then you just walk out. And the hologram technology that explains that is just phenomenal. Other, what I consider cutting edge technologies that our stakeholder partners are helping us with and that we're partnering on is the use of the digital tools. So whether it be digital wayfinding, or you can order from your mobile app and go and pick it up at the concession versus standing in line. Which could be 20 people deep. You could make the order when you're sitting on the plane waiting to get off. Say you only have 35 minutes or less. Order in advance, go and pick up, and then head off to your gate. So I'm looking at the technologies as more of a practical solution to issues that we're already seeing in the industry. How can we make that connecting process easier and more digestible, and make sure that the customers are getting what they want when they come through our airport, being that we are 70%-ish connecting.
Absolutely. So what technology do you think is going to be disrupting the airport the most this year?
That's a great question. I always feel that when we introduce something in the core business, whether that be customers going from point A to point B, could potentially be going through checkpoints, where I absolutely embrace and love disruptive technologies, because typically that's going to mean that it's something better for the industry. Sometimes it's a little difficult for the customer base that is not a frequent flyer to understand the process. So I'm a little anxious as biometrics are introduced further and further out at the beginning of the passenger journey. Even though I really want this to happen very much, I do worry about the educational component to the actual users, and making sure that we have the appropriate folks there to educate, to answer the questions in real time, and to make sure the process doesn't bottleneck.
Absolutely, that's why it's so important to keep the human touch.
Yeah. Nice collaboration.
Martha, that was my final question. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.